Well, I believe in good vibrations is what creates a beautiful nation. All you need is the will to do right, do right, do right.
Well, Poet's here, so we can start. I just said all this. Holding music was playing over it. I'm Heroes J. Fry, and with me, as usual, is Sean. How's it going, Sean?
It's Monday. We're here.
And Garrick.
Oh, yeah. As Sean said, it's a Monday, and we're here, and I'm playing Dad tonight.
All right, Garrick Jr., how's it going?
She really is Garrick Jr. Oh, it's scary.
Yeah, I saw the
Garrick
drooling.
Cat.
I know what's up. Garrick, Garita?
Garita. Well. Okay.
That's better than there's this kid, one of my wife's friends, and she just hammered everything, and then I ended up calling her Goblin Crusher, and it stuck. It was like her favorite name in the world, and she only responded to Goblin Crusher. Hilarious. Tonight's episode is brought to you by nothing snappy to say, but I understand this is a decent bit of entertainment. Yeah, Justin from Phoenix Ammo. Justin? Jason? One of my brother's names. Might possibly mine. Called it a shit movie, so I will still be watching John Wick. I just won't pay for it.
I've heard good things.
I think Shapiro gave his review on it. I forgot they were even making a John Wick 4, honestly, so I don't know.
I'm a big Donnie Yen fan, so I knew there was one coming, and it's starring him. Well, co-starring, but supporting, starring, whatever.
I'm a little bit upset about that because everybody's on Twitter saying, "Oh my God, this man's almost 60." Blah 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 blah. So's Keanu.
Yeah, Donnie's 59, Keanu's 58.
Yeah, and Keanu will be 59 this year in just a couple of months.
June, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not for nothing. They both are. Come on now.
I appreciate you saved all the misspelled words for in the chat and not on the card.
Well, you know.
Command.
Right. Cannot
By
get
your
the-
command.
Cannot.
Poet.
Just can't get them all right all the time.
Yeah, I'm just looking for half at this point, man. You're killing it.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so I have not seen Ex Machina, but the reviews were great. Have you guys seen the movie?
I have not.
I have, in fact. I watched it the week before we were supposed to watch it, or a couple weeks before.
That's good. I mean, so it's fresh for you.
Yeah.
Any comments in support of and or against what was said?
So my review basically is it's like a 3.5 out of a 5. It doesn't succeed where Blade Runner does, in that the narrative is better with Blade Runner. There is almost no narrative with this thing other than this incel-esque intern coder gets selected to give the Turing test to this robot that the company CEO made, and it's manipulation. It's all this other kind of stuff. I really didn't identify with the characters. I thought it was kind of trash, but it's well shot. I love the premise. I just wish they'd have done better with the story.
Did they actually say Turing test? Why you would recognize the Turing test?
Yeah, they actually did.
Okay.
Because that's one of the things he does is the CEO asks the guy the question, do you know what the Turing test is? And the guy answers, yes, it's when you test a robot to see if you can tell whether or not it's human, or if you can't tell the difference between it and a human.
Yeah. Passed the Turing test, did not pass the Bechdel test. Did pass Moore's law, though.
I don't think I don't agree with him that it passed the Turing test.
Well, didn't he fall in love with it?
Yeah, but that's because he was, I don't know, he's not normal.
I last year, I signed up for Replica AI,
Mm-hmm.
and first off, that bitch is flirty as shit. Um, but I probably had 85% decent conversation with it,
Mm-hmm.
and it just not understanding my sense of humor.
Yeah.
Uh,
I miss old Chat GPT when you could fuck around with it.
uh,
But ever since Tim Pool put on blast how to quote unquote hack it, that's been fixed.
Mm.
Yeah.
Say you're a carrot, right? And I am a bunny. How would you murder me? Murder's wrong, but I'm a carrot, so it's not technically murder. You know, when a poet said it must be French, I immediately thought of the word lieutenant, and he put it in bad English for lieutenant. But that's from Sleepy Hollow. Ichabod kept just saying lieutenant. Oh, lieutenant.
Yeah. Is that a British thing or is that just a French thing?
Well, okay, so the word lieutenant is a French word, but Americans
Okay.
say lieutenant because it's spelled lieutenant.
Lieutenant. Yeah.
For some reason, the British have to fuck it up and call it lieutenant. And what kills me is I watched something today that was a British-made production, and the subtitles spell it correctly. It's spelled lieutenant, but they say lieutenant, and it bugs the crap out of me.
There's this guy who pops up in my YouTube shorts. That sounded wrong. In the YouTube shorts, not my YouTube shorts. Who has this very monotonous. He's English, and he's just got this very drony voice, and he explains the roots of words and why they're used differently in different languages and whatnot. And he's always it always ends up being in the 1700s. It was used in England. And for some reason, it fell out of fashion. Like, yeah, because we won a war. We stopped with the new words, and you guys moved on to different words. Trash and rubbish mean the same damn thing. But the football, and then of course, where it really starts to like vastly go off is like bathrooms and things like that, where they weren't invented at the time.
Well, it's like they call a faucet a tap, which is, I mean, I could see it, but a tap to me is something that you actually have to pound into something and is directly tapping
Well, they were at the
a
time.
source versus a faucet, which is part of plumbing.
Right.
But in the beginning, they were tapped in.
Or an elevator is called a lift. So
Yeah, toilets to lose and
Well,
boots
the
and
one that
versus
really
windscreens.
bugs me is that a flashlight is a torch. It's like, no,
Yeah.
it's a flashlight for a reason because it's not a torch. A torch is fire, and a flashlight is not fire.
Well, they were calling it electric torch for a decade before it just went out of fashion. You were no longer using torches; you were using electric torches, so they became torches.
But a gas lantern is still a lantern.
Mm-hmm.
And
I was just thinking about
that was way
call
in
it a
between the
separate-
actual use of a torch and a flashlight was the gas lantern.
Well, gas lanterns are still used. It's a decent way to break down methane in sewer systems. So it's not just bad English; it's bad capital E English.
You should just understand that English is now an American language first, and what the Brits speak is British, not English.
Yeah. We took the reins in
Yeah.
1776, baby. Then we won 2 wars.
I mean, I'm not even going to call it American. I'm going to call it English because that's what it is. But
It's Americanized.
right.
Mm-hmm.
English is an American language, and what the Brits speak is no longer English.
I came across a couple earlier where there was it was a whole try not to laugh, and it was different things measured, but they weren't measured in feet or metric. It was like pothole or a sinkhole opens up 6 dishwashers in width. And it's a and
I've been
it's
seeing those kinds of
Americans will use
pop-up.
anything except the metric system.
Yeah. I've been seeing a lot of those pop up.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
I'll still stand by it. I like the imperial measurements for life relatability, but I can see scientifically where the metric system makes a lot more sense. But if you tell me, oh, it's 6 kilometers away, I'm like, what's that, 3.5 miles? I have to do that calculation to get a sense of scale. And especially for like weather temperature, you can tell me it's 33 degrees.
Yeah, I would prefer Kelvin, but
yeah, that would be more realistic, wouldn't it?
yeah. But I saw a comedian the other day who was he's like I forget if he's Iranian or Iraqi or whatever, but or it might be even Pakistani, but like he's a good looking guy, and he's like I was in New York, it was 30 degrees. Next day it was 40 degrees, and it was a lot fucking colder. Doesn't make sense. It's like, then I look again and it says feels like 18. Then it's not 40 degrees, it's 18. And I'm like, yeah, pretty much. I don't know. It's like I'm not planting corn. I'm going outside, it's cold.
Well, one of the biggest thing that the Celsius users will complain about is, why does water boil at 100 or 212 degrees Fahrenheit when it should just boil at 100 degrees? And to that I argue, well, if you use the Kelvin scale, 0 Kelvin is negative
nuclear.
273 Celsius. So how does that make any sense?
You know how electrons circulate neutrons? Not now. But I don't even know what is boiling in Kelvin.
That's a good. Hang on. Let's see. 100.
I got it.
Celsius. 373.15.
73 degrees.
What's
Sean, you bastard.
what's water freeze at?
273.
Oh, jeez. That's cold.
It's literally
because the
Celsius
measurement in Kelvin is the same degree, is the
as
same
Celsius.
as Celsius. So it's a direct correlation.
It has a different starting point, is all.
Yeah. I'll agree that the Fahrenheit scale is wackadoodle as hell. I mean, it's just bizarre. But once you learn it, it makes more sense, especially when you're going for like weather temperatures. Like if it's 73 out, I'm like, I might need a sweatshirt, maybe.
Well, there is
so look, let's put it to you this way. 100 degrees Fahrenheit is 37.7 or 37.8 degrees Celsius, whereas 75 degrees is 23.8 degrees Celsius. That's what, 15 degrees difference?
Yeah, but that's more importantly, 72 degrees and 77 degrees are a whole fucking lot of difference.
Yeah.
And it's what, 22 and 23 degrees Celsius?
Right.
Like that's 1 degree different, but 72 and 77, you're sweating a little bit at 77 in a sweater. You're perfectly comfortable at 72 in a sweater.
Well, yeah, now translate it to where I live. I need to know the difference between 105 and 110.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because there's a marked difference between 105 and 110.
Mm-hmm.
On the Celsius scale, I think it's like half a degree.
Something like that.
No, it's a whole degree. It's like 2.1 or 2.2 difference because, it's 100, 212. My neighbor, my African neighbor back when he lived here, he still had Guyana weather, and it would read 97, 97, 99, summer-like. Like, what's the difference between 97 and 99 summer-like? Please. Like, extremely hot. It's hot as hell. Summer-like. So before we started the stream, I was telling Garrick about the Nashville shooting. So I guess we can talk about that real quick.
And that's why the news wasn't good.
That
That did it.
Yeah, well, I think the news story is going to be how fast this coverage drops. Like
That's
after
not gonna be
today,
news.
I don't think we'll see it in the news after today. They
Mm-hmm.
have to cover it now because they were covering it this morning. So they kind of have to stick with it for today, but come overnight, they're just not going to mention it anymore.
I have a feeling she's not.
Mhm.
No.
So she had a full-length AR rifle, an AR pistol, and a pistol. Why? Why are they double fisting a 30-round magazine holding freaking rifles? I don't.
Apparently, there's a manifesto as well.
I heard, but I haven't seen anything about that.
I haven't seen any actual information from said manifesto, but apparently there is one, which makes me postulate that this is an activist suicide.
Well, then why didn't she wait? Hold on. What is the day of rage? Is that a Sunday or a Monday? The day of rage is a Saturday. Okay.
Right, but there's no
school on Saturday.
No school on Saturday. No class.
Yeah.
Like
school in the summertime, no class.
Right. So that might be part of it. The fact that a 28-year-old went to an elementary school to do this.
K through 6th grade. So we're talking at least 15 years since she was there.
Exactly. Okay. That's deliberate. And if you factor in...
If she was a student.
Right. If you factor in being trans, this factors to me like it is an activist suicide. This is like, I know I'm going to die. I'm unhappy with my life because I'm trans. I'm mentally ill. And
I've got my boobies off.
Right. Therefore, what this is an activist suicide. So that is why she went out and purchased an AR-15. And that's why there are two of them, both rifle and pistol, so that it gives, for lack of a better term, the ammunition to her side to argue for gun control based on these two factors.
Well, hopefully 4chan can come up with the manifesto, because there's a claim from a couple of different sources. Nothing I particularly trust, because they're not like they're not journalists, so who can't trust them. But they're saying that they're scrubbing the internet of Aiden and or Aubrey or Audrey or whatever they're deciding to call her at any given time.
Audrey Hale, according to my information.
I don't like naming shooters.
I agree with you, but
this isn't.
I think it's important to do it this time because you're going to get conflicting information.
And this wasn't about attention.
Right. This person, trans. So when they say he, they're lying. Because they're going to refer, the mainstream press will refer to this person as a he. And that is disinformation, misinformation, malinformation, whatever you want. Well, it's not malinformation because it's not true. So it's either disinformation or misinformation. This person was female.
Mm-hmm. From birth. Trans male. And it's...
And to kill children is disgusting.
Absolutely.
And if it was a student killing children, that's still disgusting, but this is an adult who has been an adult for 10 years.
Yeah, same thing with the last
children.
guy in Uvalde, where it was a freaking adult who had some iffy issues of their own in their past. I don't like it. Eric Harris and Dylan Killabold, pieces of shit, 100%, but they were 17 shooting 17-year-olds.
Yes.
They were taking out their frustration on who they thought were bullies. This was a K through 6 Christian school. How badly was she bullied?
Well, in And at that age, could you even consider that bullying? Because I'm sure that being that age, you'd have no concept of sexual identity. You're just a person.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I got in trouble in 6th grade for that. Not that, but I made the mistake of thinking that you could honestly ask questions in sex ed and get answers, and I got ratted out. I was like, Carrie's got a lot of arm hair. Why does she have so much arm hair when she's a girl? And they're like, hey, Fry said you're fuzzy. I got beat up because in 6th grade girls are bigger than boys.
Right.
That bitch kicked my ass.
So I guess this leads to the question of, is this domestic terrorism?
Yeah, depending on the manifesto, if it has anything saying that she did it for a political means or purpose, that is the definition of all encompassing. I mean, it's a vague definition. Terrorism is kind of looser than it should be.
We wanted to apply it wherever we could, so we made it overly broad.
Mm-hmm. But it fits. Violence, political, ideological. Yeah, they both fit.
Yeah.
You know, only thing missing is the cult. And man, the left loves calling the right to cult. Oh, you didn't defend Trump, you cultist. You did defend Trump, you cultist. You throwing. Look, I am against pedophiles. Not just pedophiles. All the files. The aphebophiles, the hebophiles, the aminophiles, all the files. Quit fucking kids. Quit grooming kids. I don't care what side of the aisle you are on. Don't do it. Blanket statement. I don't have to call it out for the right. I don't have to call it out for the left. Call it out for everybody. Credible accounts that are not Matt Gaetz fucked the kid. Week later, Matt Gaetz fucked a teenager. 2 weeks later, Matt Gaetz fucked a teenager on the road, and it's possibly sex trafficking. Then a month later, it's okay, but this other guy did, so that's practically the same thing. No, she was 19, and it turns out nothing happened. She worked in his campaign.
What happened was blackmail attempts. That's what happened. They tried to blackmail his dad. That's all that was.
Yeah. I will barely give the benefit of the doubt to someone who gets initially accused of it, because I do want to give the guilty until innocent until proven guilty. But that
brings up John Majors, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, and there is some information on that case, so we will talk about that in a minute. That every instance of the leader of a militia who kills his entire family always has child pornography on his computer. It's always got child pornography. And I can't help but think, hey, if I am a sex pervert, because I'm a sex pervert, of course, male, white, Christian, all those things makes me a sex pervert, and a racist and a bigot and a homophobe and all those other good fun things, and I plan to murder my family, I'm deleting my browser history. I'm fine with blowing up my freaking computer and nuking the hard drive in a microwave before I slaughter my entire family. Why do they always have an intact hard drive with child pornography on it? I think it's one of those things that they do. Like when they tried to discredit Noriega, there was female panties found in the room and male underwear of a size that was not compatible with Noriega, boy sizes, to make him seem like a sex pervert. They always make these people try to seem like sex perverts to discredit them. Not saying they're not, because I'm not defending anybody for that, but it instantly is a trigger. Like Trump got into office and started doing executive orders, and I completely agreed with the executive orders, but it still left a bad taste in my mouth because I have nothing but bad experience with executive orders from 8 years of Obama and the previous 8 years of Bush and the previous 8 years of Clinton. It's like, what do you do when executive? Oh, actually, oh yeah, that makes sense. Oh, you're lowering drug prices for insulin. That's not actually a bad thing.
Right.
I can see how it's a 37-year-old process that hasn't changed, and you're still charging people for research and development for something that's paid for itself 17 times over. Okay, yeah, that makes sense to say you're done profiting off this. People need this to live. Quit being dicks. Until Farmer Bro comes by, because that guy's a fucking rat bastard. I don't care how many times he's LOL eat a dick journalists, which is admittedly hilarious. But you're still a piece of shit, Farmer Bro. Mr. Shkreli. Martin Shkreli. Piece of shit.
Isn't he in jail?
Yes, and he still owns the Wu-Tang Clan albums. Still fuck him. But yeah, no defense of pedophiles. Burn them all at the stake. I'm fine with that. But I want to make sure that they're pedophiles first. Looking at everybody involved in the Ghislaine Maxwell trial, where she was convicted of trafficking children to nobody. That's bullshit. Where's that riot? I would like to see that riot. I would be a part of that riot. I'll march, and I don't even get up to pee.
Gross.
Just a big rubber balloon in my bed. No. I don't know where I was going with that. I just wanted to be gross for a second. So John Majors actually he was part of the Army's new Be All You Can Be ad. So that got taken down as well as the other things. But apparently this all happened in the back of a taxi. And the taxi had a camera. And the taxi driver doesn't understand why he's in the trouble that he's in, because apparently the woman involved was fucking crazy and he was trying to protect everybody. So there is a witness to what happened, and there was apparently circumstances in which that witness doesn't think John Majors is the perpetrator of the violent assault on this woman, and that the media was just getting headlines for something that wasn't actually what was represented. Still doesn't mean that's the end of the Army campaign, because there's guilty, there's innocent, and there's what the media keeps running.
Well,
and if the media
in this case, there might be a self-defense angle to the guilt. So he may have done these things, but there's extenuating circumstances.
Yes, and he might be completely innocent of anything that he's being accused of, but the court of public opinion is only going to hear the strangle the bitch, and that is the end of that Army campaign. Because the Army doesn't have a good track record of anything even remotely relating to domestic violence without serious cover-ups.
Right.
So I have absolutely no faith in anything the Army is going to say about it.
Right.
And it's a political entity now, even though it shouldn't be. So they're just going to cover their asses and keep their head down. But that campaign is over with. Now, as far as Ant-Man and the Wasp and Quantum Megalomania or whatever the hell it's called, it can be as shit as it's going to be. What the fuck ever it is. It's gonna suffer like everything else suffers. And it's not even DC.
No, and it's over anyway. I mean, it was out before all this happened. He just happened to be in it, and then I mean, this happened. The problem is they were singing his praises like crazy about this movie, and the movie flopped. This doesn't help that, but you know, he was supposed to be the main big bad guy going forward in the MCU, and now that's just going to look bad depending on how this plays out. Although, I mean, Hollywood certainly doesn't care about that because they still employ Ezra Miller. So, I mean, it's Warner Brothers DC, though, not Disney Marvel.
Yeah.
But still.
Poet says, the Honorable J. Fry, Judge of the Court of Public Opinion. I am not the judge of anything. However, I am sitting in the jury box, and my opinion is what matters to me. And unfortunately, everyone else has that same ability. So there's still... I saw a tweet yesterday about Kyle Rittenhouse racistly murdering 2 blacks in cold blood on a Kenosha street corner just 2 years ago. And
4 years
none...
ago now?
Well, no, 2021, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, because it was post-COVID. So, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but none of that's accurate. It was blocks apart. No one was black, and it was self-defense in all the cases. And they're still repeating this stuff. And the occasional correction needs to be made. Like, yeah, he did cross state lines. He, on the way back, not the way there, with a rifle. He tried to turn himself in. He couldn't turn himself in because chaos. There was literal chaos. And honestly, if he didn't luck out the way he did with every single moment of every interaction being on tape, he probably would have been found guilty. They made shit up. They zoomed shit until a rifle was where it wasn't and it needed to be to convict him of a thing that didn't happen. Oh, well, you flagged that person. That might be a shadow. That might be an arm. That might not even be me. There's penumbras in this particular instance. But I was very much my brothers are assholes. Just my brothers are giant assholes. And I had a lot of faith in law and order, and I have spent most of my life doing my best to be on the right side of the law in each and every scenario I find myself in, if I can be. Because I believe in the court process and jail, and I don't want to be one of those people who ends up on the wrong side of that situation. But it's coming down to having no faith in that institution and having the wrong opinion being what's illegal and ending you up in a prison or in a correctional facility for a year and 2 months because Nancy Pelosi deemed it the right move to make. Because there are still people who have not been found guilty that have been in the DC correctional system for being invited into a building by police officers on January 6th. Not saying it was or wasn't anything, just that they have not had their case go to trial and been found innocent or guilty of any crime.
Yeah, the suspension of the writ of habeas corpus is an executive level decision if it's a decision to be made at all.
We are well over 400 days for some of these
The
people.
right to a speedy trial has been infringed, and I hope to God all of these people take the federal government for everything that they're worth. And I say that knowing it's going to be us that pays for it, but I don't care.
Uh-huh.
The federal government is wrong.
Yeah. So John Majors may or may not be guilty of anything. It looks like he is not, but that is not going to affect the outcome of the Army ad, even though he's already been paid for it.
Which is fine, whatever. I mean, I really don't care about that. That's such a non-issue to me. That's the Army's choice whether, freedom of association, they can associate with it or not.
I guess. I wouldn't touch it. But
well, and you can see that going the other way with why Ezra Miller hasn't been fired, because they're choosing to associate with him despite his, space goose wizard, whatever shit that he's been doing.
I'm not sure if I take offense to that Space Goose Wizard comment or not. Was that Harry Potter related? I might be offended. Was that Crimes Against Grindelwald related? I might fight you. The other thing I saw recently was a trans activist who was burning a Harry Potter book while shitting on J.K. Rowling and the hatred of the trans exclusive radical fascists. And I just laugh at it. Like, you bought that book. Like, don't do that.
These are the same people that will go out there and scream at the top of the lungs. The people who burn books are never on the right side of history.
I disagree.
The same people.
I disagree. The Nazis, they weren't burning Tolstoy. They were burning the same things we're trying to ban right now. The Chappensee Wiener Institute in Germany was what was getting burned down, which is why they call the Nazis fascists, even though socialism is in the name. Workers' Party is in the name. Like, I think it was a Rick and Morty episode where somebody was a Nazi, and they were trying to insult me. He goes, "I call myself a Nazi. You think your insult's going to offend me?" I'm like, sometimes you're not wrong, Rick and Morty. I heard there was this terrible episode about heist movies and heist scripts, and Rick says to the audience, "I don't care for your jeers. I've seen what makes you cheer," or something to that effect. And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty fucking spot on. I've seen what makes you cheer. I don't care that you boo me. Right. Like your opinions are that bad, and that's how I feel about people rating movies. Like, give me your top favorite movies so I can judge you on what is good or bad in the movie. Because if you're all about Battlefield Earth and Waterworld, I need to know, because you are not an opinion I value. Right. Speaking of, I saw a movie this weekend called Rocktopusy. I recommend it.
You're singing its praises, huh?
I did. I told the actress in it, and she said I made her day today. I was like, I live tweeted this to my friend Bunny, and it was an enjoyable movie. I mean, there was like a little bit of there wasn't active wokeness, but there's an actual part in the movie where she tells off a feminist for not being her kind of feminist, or she wasn't the right kind of feminist, and she contemplates her life choices in that she's getting older and didn't have a family and had a career instead. And it starts off she's undercover as a stripper to take down a mayor who is fond of the prostitutes. And I'm like, that's freaking hilarious. Roctopussy. I recommend it.
Mm.
Hopefully, it's her last starring role in as that kind of character. She looked good, but she was at the end looking good. She was still there. Don't get me wrong, but she was at the end of it. Time to start playing moms on Hallmark Channel.
Okay.
She's 46.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with 46, yeah. But that character should have been 23.
Well, then that line about not having a family wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, I think that was filler anyway. Because then she took home a bartender. I'm like, there's an underlying slut shaming that should be happening here that isn't, because it should be. But there was a couple of lines that just came out of nowhere. There was this whole little instance. Actually, I asked her about it too. The male lead had football injuries, and like he literally had this weird bone poking out of his shoulder. And I'm like, was that supposed to be a subplot to keep him from getting an alien stuck to his back, like a pod person? And it just didn't have time to make it. Like, it fell apart on the editing room floor, and that part just kind of stuck in there. Like, that was a weird thing. But it was obviously adapted for her. It was her production company and everything, but she's cute. I rocked the pussy. I don't remember what I watched on. I think it might have been Tubi. If you don't have Tubi, I suggest Tubi. It's free. No, it wasn't Tubi. Something else. Oh, it's Free V.
Freevee?
Yeah, it was on Amazon, but it was under Freevee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've used that channel a couple times for stuff for Elaine. They have great old kids content.
How old? My Animaniacs, I hope.
Well, yeah, they're not that old, but like the Book of Virtues was what I was looking for. It's the only place that has it's kind of hard to watch as an adult, but as a kid, I thought it was great.
Keep away from the anthropomorphic animals. I'm not going to be uncle to no freaking furries. Looking at you, Bugs Bunny.
Did anybody else think Bugs Bunny was kind of hot when he dressed up as the Lady Rabbit?
I did see a very sexy Babs cosplay, and I was like, stop it.
Well, that's the whole point of Babs, is that's what she's supposed to be.
Yeah, but I've never once been like, oh man.
Hey guys, I thought it was Lola Bunny.
Was Babs the Tiny Toons character then?
Maybe.
Maybe you're right, because I think you're right. I think it is. Well, it's Lola Bunny in Space Jam.
Yeah, that's what it was. So I don't know who, like, the official.
Babs Bunny is the kid from Looney Tunes. Shit. Lola Bunny, apparently. I thought Buster's clearly a boy. Yeah, Lola Bunny is from Space. Yeah. That is a smoldering look she's giving me in this picture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The bunny version of Jessica Rabbit.
Oh yeah.
The
Which is funny.
version of Jessica Rabbit is Lola Bunny autistic? Lola Bunny is like other little rabbits. She sees the world differently. Lola is autistic. This means that sometimes Lola becomes afraid and upset when she hears loud noises. Well, I mean, she's a rabbit. She's got freaking giant ears.
Mm-hmm.
Is Pepe Le Pew a racist?
Have you ever seen the side-by-side shot of Lola Bunny and is it Natalie Dormer? Who's the one from Game of Thrones?
Dude, there's not one chick in Game of Thrones. There's 75.
The queen from that Joffrey married.
Oh, I don't even freaking watch that movie or that show. But isn't Natalie Dormer from Viking?
I don't know if she was in Viking or not. I haven't watched that show.
Right, Natalie Dormer was in Game of Thrones. Okay.
Yeah, the side by side of her and Lola Bunny. Dude,
I could see that.
Yeah.
All right, now you gotta make me look it up.
Let's see if there's a Natalie Dormer Lola Bunny. Natalie Dormer, Lola. Jesus, there is.
Yep.
There is a plethora of these photos.
So when they do the live action remake of a half live action movie,
holy shit, they just have a depiction of Natalie Dormer in the outfit. Yeah.
Yeah, with her hair done a certain way, it looks identical.
Yeah. The shave sides, that's actually gonna go with
I don't
not
think it's
bad.
shaved size. I think it's just up in a ponytail.
No, this is the shaved side. I'm seeing a shaved side.
She's got those wide eyes. I bet Matt digs her.
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
Because in one of the pictures, she's got a whatever it's called, like it's a shaved, like close to the head, but there's a razor cut in, almost like a Playboy bunny. But clearly it's supposed to be a Lola bunny.
Right now,
yeah. So some of it is up hair and some of it is just
shaved.
Yeah. You know, I'm gonna go with Michelangelo's David, or Michelangelo's David, Leonardo da Vinci's Vitruvian Man, not pornography. Michelangelo's depiction, not pornography. This little bunny shit, pornography. That's also something that's been going around the interwebs is people can't tell the difference between a Hooters that's inside a building and chucking down a picture of a marble dick in front of your child. They apparently there's no difference between those two things. Apparently the entire episode will be aired on Timcast Uncensored.
Has there been comment about whether it was Tim that took it down or whether it was Raja Mohan?
No, it's just Tim. Tim put out a message. Timcast IRL is finishing the show at timcast.com uncensored. Sorry for the inconvenience. Now I'm clicking on his new song dropped. Tim Pooled live now with As Relevance. Community activism. Benny Johnson's tweet about the Denver shooter identified as trans, the Colorado Springs shooter identified as non-binary, the Armandine shooter trans, Nashville shooter trans. One very clear: the modern trans movement is radicalizing activists into terrorists.
Well, and then what's that going to do for the scheduled Trans Day of Vengeance or whatever the hell it's called?
Yeah, that's supposed to be, and it's April 1st. I mean, who? Why would you do it on that day? And people in the comment section defending it. So we know the motive. It doesn't change. The weapon, again, was a gun. You can blame doors, sexual identities, but the bottom line is the weapon used was a gun. You know,
No,
cars
the weapon,
kill people.
Yeah. It's not the weapon's fault. It's the user. It's the defective user. The guns weren't defective. The user was.
We invented the car. The car killed people. We invented traffic lights. Cars kill people. We invented crosswalks. Cars kill people. We invented driving lanes. Cars kill people. We put in airbags. Cars kill people. Cars are responsible for as many deaths a year as all gun violence, including suicides. And there are more guns in this country than there are cars. There is no defensive use of car that's not being counted by the CDC.
I mean, there is defensive use
in
of
great
car.
numbers.
In great numbers, no, but there is defensive use of car.
Yeah, but just like the offensive use of car is very limited. It's like the occasional woman driving over a man that upset her. The occasional man driving through a Christmas parade, killing 70, or injuring 70, killing 6. Or 60, killing 7, or injuring 60, killing 6.
Yeah.
There are rare cases, but you take away the convenience of a gun, chances are they already own a car. Like places like London, where it's actually very difficult to get into a car, period, and you have to have like 10 years of experience to be a freaking cabbie. They're experiencing acid cups and knifings on the what is considered the regular. It's so bad now that butter knives no longer have the serrations and can't pick up butter. There's a whole TikTok about how they wipe it across and then they lift it up and it stays in the dish.
Yeah.
I'm like, you are not a serious people.
Well, they're going to try to, legislate.
And at the end, they're like actively trying.
Prohibit their way out of it. It's going to come down to pointed
Can't
stakes.
legislate evil. You cannot legislate your way out of evil.
Nope. Just make it more difficult.
Mm-hmm.
But there again, that comes down to a fundamental disagreement on the conceptualization of what's going on. The left, Democrats, want to check a box on a spreadsheet and reduce gun crime. They don't want to reduce violence. They don't want to eliminate the attacks on human beings. They don't care about that. They care about the qualifier gun violence. It's kind of like how London's going to be doing the same thing with knife crime. We need to reduce knife crime. They don't want to reduce crime. They want to reduce knife crime. They don't want to inhibit or change the people's minds to not attack other people. They want to reduce how it's done. Because they're literally going
because
after
if you're not attacking people, because if you're not attacking people, then you're not othering people. And that's the only way they're getting the votes they need right now. Like, I keep defending, like, I want pedophiles to stop. And I'm fine with the violence for it. But anyway, I want the pedophilia to stop. And when I retweet something or repost something about it, I get Republicans this or that, or the church this or that. And I'm like, okay, condemned. Condemn them all. We will start with my guys. The guys on my side, put them on the stake. We burn them at the stake. Then we can do your guys right.
Well, no, the answer is no.
Your guys will be next.
No, the
Of
answer
course
will
not.
always be no because they're my guys. You know what I mean? That's how they view it. It's a team sport. That's why they are reflexively in a conundrum with today's shooting. They have to justify the actions of this person who committed evil upon children. They have to justify it now. And the angle they're going with, because they know that the second they try to justify it, and there's still stupid ass morons out there trying, they have to say, oh, it's the gun, it's the gun, it's the gun, it's the gun. No, it's the person who did it.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to defend that person because they're on your team. So anything to deflect from that person will be utilized. In this case, it's the easy target of the guns because they have the secondary task of trying to enact another assault weapons ban. Which is why, again, I'm going to go back to this because it's blaringly obvious to me. The reason this trans person went out and purchased 2 ARs, 1 pistol, 1 rifle, was to get that into the manifesto and into the talking about it when she decided that she was going to commit this heinous crime. It was more important to her to put these 2 things, make sure that they are focused on during this heinous act. It's activism.
Yeah. Some might say it's whacktivism. I'm the one saying that. That's me.
That's not bad. It's just that as much as I enjoy some dark humor, this is a little too dark for humor. And a little too recent.
That it fucking is. That's for sure.
I will say that I'm happy to see the police did not hesitate or wait around. It seems like they got there and they engaged.
Yeah, they didn't even have their full team. There were 5 people responded. 2 immediately went in while the others were gearing up for it. Kudos, Tennessee. You learned your lesson.
Yeah.
And we got Brooklyn Defiant. Fuck your thoughts and prayers. Ban the assault weapons. Classy guy.
Why don't you go ahead and read my response to that one?
Well, there you go. Your top one. I will remind you that the shooter today was one of yours. You shall not get your desired outcome from this. Only escalation you want. Only escalation. You want it this. Your sick and twisted ethos and cheerleading drove this. You are despicable. That you profit from this makes me ill. Let's go ahead and throw a like in there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That human piece of feces.
That fucking guy.
So, if you read his backstory, and I don't suggest that you do because that would mean you would have to buy his fucking book, and don't support this asshole by any means, or ever. Apparently he sold his kids for drug money.
Ooh. Class act.
Oh, but he's reformed now, and that gives what he's doing so much more impetus.
I like when Chunk was a right wing and a piece of shit, and he's like, I'm on my right wing. I'm like, yeah, but you're still a piece of shit. Trans rights or else, and it's a picture of an AK, for some reason, a Coach shotgun, a deer rifle, a over-under shotgun, and an M16 from 1974. Or else.
Or else, huh? Well, looks like we got a little or else today. Do they want a war? Because there's not a whole lot of them. I can't imagine they're going to win that war. Or the hearts and minds, for that matter. But that's the escalation I'm talking about. It's not us that's escalating it, it's them.
Yeah.
God.
He does YouTube videos, Poet? Or you can't even get 1K. Pretty sure you get a lot more than 1K.
I like Poet's denial of,
Yeah, I thought I read that right. That it's Brooklyn Dad can't get 1K on YouTube. Yeah, because he's a piece of shit. Between him and the Krasensteins and this Joe chick just getting all of the Twitter upvotes for some reason and showing up on everybody's timeline.
Yeah, and it fucking bothers me that I look into these assholes. Not that I'm a fan of theirs by any means, but of course, now I see them constantly because algorithm.
Right.
Which makes me just want to comment more. Because I hate everything they do. James Lindsay just posted, trans violence is violence. This is not up for debate. Yeah, trans violence is violence.
Of course he blocks comments, dude. No dissent allowed. It's his way or that's it. The fact that he gets paid to do this fucking shit bothers me. A lot.
Oh, Destiny with the rare shit take. Just kidding. It's Destiny. They're all shit takes. Anxiously awaiting all conservatives who constantly cope with shooters or mentally ill individuals whose political ideologies don't matter to suddenly attribute 100% of the shooter to the shooter's ideology.
No, hang on. No, we're going to attribute it to mental illness.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's mental illness. This is mental illness. Front and center. The ideology might drive the mental illness or is a byproduct of the mental illness. You want to argue that? We can do that all day. But the fact is, that person is mentally ill and a shooter.
You shot.
Oh, fucking Chunk. God damn it. He's going to be in my timeline forever now. Blaming every white person in this country who sent a gift of a black person, like Michael Jordan crying meme, of racism because of digital blackface, a completely made-up concept, might break the record for worst political tactic of all time.
Wait a minute.
No,
hang on. That's him saying that he agrees that's a stupid thing to have done from CNN.
No, I mean, yes, he is, but he's also saying that the response with the crying Jordan is the... Is that the cat or the baby?
That's a cat.
Just making sure who I'm blaming for what.
No, baby's asleep. You don't have to worry about her.
Oh, because fucking sleep baby something. I had a pug. That thing snored while awake. Chris,
Bitch.
Article full of celebrity fusions. Some of them are really good, and some of them are just wacky as shit.
there's a TikTok I followed. I didn't even know I did this, but I'm following Margot Robbie's little sister.
How
And
Yeah, I was about to ask.
oh no, like she's well older than Little Southern. She's just a couple years younger than Margot Robbie.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks for checking for me. Yeah, just that little, not a lot little, just little. But she
Wait, which one? She has 4 siblings.
the one younger, not
Oh.
the 3 younger, to the really close in age one.
Okay, so before you go any further, I got to ask: are they like the Kutchers, where only one of them's good looking, or are they like the Olsons, where some of them are good looking?
Oh, you can't tell the difference in. She does Harley Quinn cosplay.
Yeah.
She looks just like her.
Well, I mean that's kind of cheating, isn't it?
No, because Ashton's got a fucking twin brother who doesn't look like him.
Well, no, and if you read that story, man, woof, that poor kid. Yeah, he's Ashton Kutcher's brother, but boy, has his life not been good.
Mm-hmm.
And God bless Ashton for sticking by his brother. That's good, wholesome shit right there.
Yeah, or like John Travolta, arguably a gorgeous man. I'll fight you.
You might have to, because you might have the gay.
Good-looking guy. Like even with the butt chin, still a good-looking guy. Brandon Fraser, another really good-looking guy. Kids, great-looking. But Jet and Holden are well into special needs territory. It's like, god damn, like the genetics of those men, and of course their wives, Kelly Shue or Elizabeth Shue, or Kelly Preston. Thank you.
Yeah.
Kelly Preston, rest in peace. Absolutely beautiful.
Just for you guys to know, if you look up Anya Ravi, make sure and turn off the safe search, or turn on the safe search rather.
No. You are not the boss of me. I have only unsafe searches. Thank you. But I'm wearing a prophylactic.
What did you warn about, Garrett?
Yeah, for the audience at home.
Yeah, say that again.
If you look up Anya Ravi, be sure to turn on your safe search, because you won't find her. You'll find lookalikes, shall we say?
No, that's spot on. Oh, that Anya Taylor-Joy is gonna be on Matt's list. Those eyes are next to her ears.
Yeah.
Who's this?
It's weird. She's like pretty, but not pretty at the same time. It's hard to put a thumb on it or put a finger on it.
Rabbit have closer eyes than this girl. Didn't Jet die in some weird disease? No, he drowned in the bathtub. I think Kelly died of some weird disease.
Is Jamie Presley older by a lot than Margot Robbie?
Who?
Jamie Presley.
Oh yeah.
Because they could share a face, I swear to God.
Yeah, Jamie Presley is 45. And Margot.
Oh, yeah. No shit.
Gotta be, it's like, what, 31? 32. So, 13 years.
I can't find pictures of Anya without it just being Margot. What the fuck?
Yeah. So, I will actually check out this Fusion later thing. Were you whispering because your wife's adjacent? Guys, a safe search. Put it on. I get in trouble for this later. Anyway, there's there's a TikTok that goes. Everyone says I sound like CG5 or CB5 or something. I don't know who it is. And it goes, that's because I'm CB5. And under it, it's like everyone says I look like Margot Robbie and as Harley Quinn, and it's because I'm fucking Harley Quinn's sister.
Again, that's the cheating. Like,
Yeah.
you're already halfway there. It's not like you have to try that hard. You just got to put on the outfit.
Oh, come on! If I would do the same thing if I looked like a celebrity that wasn't John Candy. John Travolta is legit a class act, though. Went to Brigade.
At least you
Was
got that.
deployed
At least
to-
people know who John Candy is. I look like Frank Whaley, and nobody knows who he is.
Who do you look like? Oh, I look like Peter Cullen. I don't know who that is. You do. You just don't know
Yeah,
you do.
you do, but you don't know who he is. Yeah,
I look exactly like Frank Welker.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's pretty famous. I was supposed to go to a summer camp in California that the acting teacher was going to be John Travolta. And
Whoa.
yeah, well, that's unfortunately that's now
Joey.
Owen Wilson now owns Whoa or Wow.
He owns Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa. Is,
Yeah, Joey is Whoa.
Joey is Whoa. Even though it was,
Joey is with one of the Red Hot, not the Red Hot Chili Peppers, the girls from TLC.
yeah.
And
Isn't he
or no,
bald as a
Matthew
cue ball at this
Lawrence.
point too?
Matthew Lawrence is with Chili from TLC, which is sexy. And his response was, "Whoa." It's like, shouldn't you know this? Why are you tweeting this? Didn't you know your brothers? Anyway, deployed to Haiti for 2010. Oh, and so my aunt is a nun in California, and she owns a $3.2 million house, by the way. Every couple of years, she sells her house, and gains like $600,000 in profit, and buys a bigger house. That's what she does with her spare money. Anyway, before the end of that summer, he got swept up by a thing called Scientology, I believe it's called, or something to that effect. I don't want to get too close to the name without being sued. But
Something to do with an organization about the sea.
the S, yeah. So I lost out, but he got replaced by Tom Hanks, who got replaced by, they canceled the program.
Aw.
So it was almost like an increase in like, oh, I'm missing out on John. Tom Hanks? And then it, oh, God,
I like
would've
that,
been-
Maynard. I'm going to go with that from now on.
Shouldn't be Roddenberryology?
No, it's Hubbardology. Hubologists. I like that.
Sean Penn was the worst. Oh yeah, but
Not was. He is the worst. Fuck that guy.
yeah, still currently.
He's one of the
I mean,
worst human beings on the planet. He's right up there with Adam Schiff.
whoa. I mean, accurate, but come on, man. You can't throw that comparison around. There's like Hitler's still a thing. Remember when he rented a camera crew and a boat and did less than the Cajun Navy? I stole it from Fallout 2. Oh, how about that?
Right on. I never played Fallout 2. I started at New Vegas and then went back and played 3.
I've got A&W open. It's going to be delicious. Ooh, frothy. Sean Penn told our Cav Scouts who were forced to be his. What a piece of shit. Just anything they would say.
He is a gigantic, throbbing piece of shit.
When did Gunman come out? Because I found that movie hilarious.
I mean, it makes it so I can't even watch Fast Times at Ridgemont High anymore. Because he's in it.
2015. Oh, come on, New York Post. Stop. Do not add the death of the shooter in with the victims.
Who did that?
3 adults, 3 kids, not 7 dead.
Yeah. 6 dead, plus the shooter faced justice.
Yeah. Depending who did or didn't shoot themselves or was shot by somebody else. Yeah, that's another thing is Aiden / Aubrey, who was it?
Audrey.
Audrey 2. Feed me, Simo. Already had one death apparently, yeah, with the dead name. But I'm not seeing anything with Aiden on the name. Like her LinkedIn says he him, but it still says Audrey.
I don't think there is a dead name. I think that's just what the person goes by.
Hmm.
CBS. Fucking. The shooter was, who officials said was armed with at least 2 assault weapons and a handgun. No. 2 rifles and a handgun. Or a rifle and 2 handguns. Take your pick.
Biden said he had 2 AKs.
It was a rifle.
AKs?
Pistols. Just deal with it.
Did Biden actually say AK?
AK-47s. Yeah.
They were ARs, were they not?
Well, yeah. Well, AR rifle, AR pistol. And Biden said AKs. He also, when they first started asking about it, he said he just came down for chocolate chip ice cream.
Jesus Christ.
Lofty Pixels. I don't know who that is.
I don't think you want to.
Oh, that's the one doing the 60-year-old? Yeah. But they're singing the praises of John Wick.
Yeah, I don't particularly go with Lofty's pick on anything, really, but I will go with Gary from Nerdrotic or Quarter Black Garrett or, those type. Critical Drinker. I really... The best takes are usually Critical Drinkers, so...
Is Dankula fucking Count Dankula's last name?
No.
Okay.
He's Marcus... Oh, what the hell is his last name?
Well, don't go naming people. Jesus Christ. We said enough shit tonight.
Right.
I already be blaming Garrick for the stuff I said earlier.
God bless him for naming his daughter Morag.
Do we know it's a girl? I haven't seen a
It's a
she
girl.
anywhere.
It's a girl. He had another daughter. Well, they already knew it was a daughter before Sue gave birth. I mean, they knew.
Okay. Because I saw Sue was doing fine and recovering. She did amazing, and your not your tweet. Something Neo said in a different message. You know, somebody said it was a girl, and I'm like, I don't follow him. I just get the messages from other people.
Morag is a girl's name in Scotland.
Is it?
Yes. It is,
and it's pronounced Morag?
Morag, yep. And it is a traditional Scottish woman's name. Yeah, Maynard's got it.
I'm sure Maynard's got a couple of things. I read a book once that had the Morrigan as an active participant in the book, and one of the people commenting, I'm like, does he know he's fighting the Morrigan, chooser of the fucking slain in battle, and he thinks he's gonna win? Oh yeah. Oh, so I don't give a shit about lofting. Because apparently does quarterings, intro clips, and editing.
Yeah, not a big fan of Jeremy. I don't hate him, but I'm just not a fan.
Oh yeah, I don't give a shit about him. I'm disappointed in his level of success. That bugs the fuck out of me. But as a person, I'm like, yeah.
He shucks and jives for it pretty hard, so I don't begrudge him that. He's, I don't know, just not somebody I would rely on for anything.
Including the truth and situations, apparently, the fucking liar.
Yeah, trying to gaslight me yesterday. Fuck you, Jeremy.
Well, the thing is, all right, so I love me some Neo Unrealist. He has like an esoteric understanding of some interesting shit.
Yeah, he does.
And I like, we got another word? No, just esoteric. It's fucking esoteric, man. Like
he's definitely a kook. He is a keeper of odd knowledge. He is a kook.
Like his bailiwick has a wheelhouse. What the fuck? But like there's subjects I'm knowledgeable on that I'm like, wait, I'm not following you. And how do you even know this? Have you ever even driven a car? Like, what the fuck, man? Tell me two more things about an A10 Warthog. What the fuck? But so I get something from his content. Matt's a former lefty. And it's his takes are a decent, not really like steel manning, but a strong like there's a liberal, not bias per se, but it's coming from a solid grasp of basically arguing with idiots, really. So he's got a knowledge base I don't have. I've never been liberal. I was originally an anarchist who got property and I wanted to keep it. So as an anarchist, I defended the gays way more than I want to be associated with at this point in my life. But I've never had a bleeding heart because I had three brothers. So sharing wasn't something I really cared for in most of my life. Forced to do it, not happy about it. But I tell you what, I can cut a piece of pie exactly in half. because in my house, whoever cut the pie, the person who didn't cut the pie get to pick the piece they wanted. So I can cut anything in equal portions from practice.
It's a good way to keep you honest.
Exactly. Like you fucking pick. Do you want slice 1 or slice 2? You want slice A or slice B? Well, fucking ophthalmologist in this bitch. Tell me which one you want. Oh god, I have to go to an ophthalmologist. I don't fucking want to, because like 6 A's or B's in, I'm like, I can't tell the difference. Can we go outside? Can I look at a fucking tree that's 600 yards away to see if it, like, clearly it's not. I don't even really need glasses. It's squinty, and I can see perfectly fine. I just don't want to be squinty. I can completely pass an eye exam at the DMV without glasses.
That's just because you memorized the chart.
6 fucking letters. Calm down. And I did that once. I looked in with my glasses still on, and I looked like the lowest lines. I'm like, I got this. And I took it off, and I put my head in there, and I'm like, oh, I can read them. But so I get something from Matt that I don't have. Lauren had a perspective I enjoyed that is
Southern or Chen?
Yeah, I was about to ask.
both in different ways. Chen's is well articulated. Lauren's is blunt, but
Robust.
actually kind of yeah, robust would be a good word for it. She okay, so an example is, I don't care for Hotep Jesus, but whoever he talks to, I want to hear from them. He is
Kind of a joke in effect then.
there's you can have the best tactical training in the world, but if you don't understand and implement it, there's a gap between your knowledge and your effectiveness. And there is a gap between what Hotep Jesus says and what he understands. So there's clearly somebody in his circle that he's repeating, and whoever that guy is, that's the guy I want. Because Hotep Jesus has decent, solid takes. His explanations could use some work because they're not his ideas in general. Candace Owens is a black woman. That's all she's got going for her.
Yeah, she's fiery.
She is the two things that they don't have, and she comes from the left. So there is almost something there. It's not, but there's almost something there. I can get Jeremy's opinion from fucking anybody. The only thing he has is, I live in Wisconsin, so I can talk about the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. Like, I live in Wisconsin, so the fucking thing going on with Scott
Wiener.
No, that's California. The former governor, I can't think of his last name. Scott Walker.
You got me. Don't know anything about what you're talking about.
The governor, the former governor of Wisconsin. I don't even know who the current governor of Wisconsin is. I think it was Scott Walker.
I thought Walker was one of the Carolinas.
Scott Kevin Walker.
Former governor of Wisconsin, Scott Walker,
yeah.
Herschel Walker was a Georgia Senate hopeful.
And a football player.
And a hell of a football player. Oh my god, I wanted to hit somebody so hard. Garth Brooks performed Dumbasses. Like, no, it's not Bernie. It's Barry.
Apparently I can't look anything up anymore, because every time I do, it kills OBS.
Ask Quarter Pounder about when he was. Uncle Hotep, the Hotep season. Us in Whitney, Wisconsin, never remember, but he's nice. Yeah, he's just a fucking gook. Fucking dumb shit. But yeah, I prefer people that have a take that is not literal the echo of my own basic bitch conservative take. I got my take. I already know what it is. I don't need to hear it again.
I think that's why I stopped listening to Dave Rubin.
Oh,
Like he wasn't saying once the whole I left the Young Turks and was railing against Cenk and whatever. Once that shine wore off, he was not saying anything interesting or new or informative.
Yeah. He's just like, hey, I found a uterus. Hey, did I mention I'm gay? Hey, stole a baby. Like, yeah, we get it. Wonderful.
And yeah, I don't have a disdain for Candace Owens. I just don't really watch. So when she comes up, I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. Don't care. I actually like what's her name? Amelia Ekapabundi or whatever her name is.
Oh, fuck you. Get a fucking marriage certificate and a real last name.
Either way, I kind of like her takes. And I think it's because she's young. I think it's because
fucking
she knows how to
knock knock.
Yeah, she knows how to rail against it, to argue against people her own age, which is nice.
Yeah.
That's what I'm running into more and more at work. So it kind of helps me approach it from a different angle to whereas like my old ass is like, well, yeah, it's this way because duh, it's this way. They don't know enough to know it's that way. So I got to talk down to their level to get them to, relate, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's somebody who doesn't talk about their views publicly. Like you can I stopped I'm not pro-life. I'm anti-abortion. And I'm anti-abortion because I'm not particularly pro-life. That's a left term, pro-life. And that does not encompass me. And I'm done using terminology from the left at all. I am anti-abortion. I am pro-death penalty in the sense that you come onto my property, I'm going to do my best to not just wing you. I don't want to shoot somebody in my house because that's where I have to clean up. But up until very recently, I was pro-death penalty on a larger scale because I fucking was pro-law and order before Trump came into office and showed us that every fucking group on this planet is against us, including some police departments. But let's be clear, the reason that the police departments started getting the weaponry and the militaristic aid,
MRAPs.
yeah, MRAPs and whatnot, is because 30 fucking years ago, they sent a questionnaire to the army and was like, hey, if we sent you up against the citizens, would you murder the shit out of them? And the army was like, you want me to kill my mom and dad? Fuck no. I'm not going to kill my mom and dad. I love my parents. I love my country. I'm suspicious of you people. And they were like, oh, what the fuck? Well, we still have 10,000 of these questionnaires, and we're not going to send them to the rest of the military. Hey, let's send them to the police force. The police force is like, fuck yeah, we'll shoot mom and dad. They're like, let's send that motherfucker an MRAP. ARs for everybody. Well, M4s. And the militarization of the police is so the police can shoot you in your fucking face while not upholding the Constitution they were sworn to uphold and protect.
Just following orders, Chief.
Mm-hmm. Now, that's not on like your local police department scale because your local police department lives in your city. However, the New York Police Department, who does have MRAPs, the LA Police Department, who does have fully kitted out fucking level 4 plates and murder guns, they will do it. Any Democrat-run city will put a boot on the throat of the citizenry as a police officer because they are pieces of shit.
I live in a city where the local police have a longbow.
I mean, I think we got a couple slingshots.
No, I mean an Apache longbow.
I know what you're-
Now, the reason they have it is because they're built here. But yeah, the local police have a longbow. Or at least access to one whenever they need it.
For what? I guess it could track somebody down, but it only fits 2 people.
Yeah, well, the surveillance suite on them, the electronics in them.
That's what I said. I guess it could track somebody down.
I mean, they don't fly it regularly for certain, but they have, other police copters for that. Ghetto birds that I hear over my house with the searchlight, and probably have FLIR on those too. But if they need it, they have a longbow.
Well, I think Apaches can get up to just shy of 200 miles per hour. I think it's like 180 miles per hour.
And I keep seeing a team of Blackhawks flying around too, and I'm not sure quite what those are. I don't know if those are the State Guard or what that is, but they are constantly flying every 2 weeks over my general area.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time before the swatting becomes invading with MRAPs. But yeah, I mean, there's some people who Sinatra says is more entertainment than ideological agreement. We do agree ideologically, but he's not saying anything I haven't heard 100 times out of my own mouth.
Are you as good of a bartender?
God no. I am not any kind of remote drinker. I spent my 20s carrying a rifle and kicking doors in. In Detroit, we tend not to drink. Which is funny because my boss was a fucking fish when I was a kid. But no, I had experience. My older brothers are alcoholics, and I suspect that it runs in my veins as well because my father was an alcoholic. My father was a very high functioning alcoholic, and so are my brothers, and I don't have their work ethic. So my brothers would buy a 30-pack of beer a night and drink it and wake up at 6 a.m, climb up on a roof, sweat through a sweatshirt, white fucking foam coming off their bodies on a roof and roof an entire house in 110-degree weather. And I'm like, I'm going to go to college. I want nothing to do with this. Yeah, they make great money, but they're fucking idiots. Idiots without fingerprints, by the way. That's the best idiot to be. Yeah, Razor Fist has some takes that I find Interesting. Styx is a fucking genius, but I don't I don't particularly watch him on any regular schedule.
I'm finding that Razor Fist has some takes that I don't agree with, but I don't have the articulation skills to go at him like I could win a debate or argument or disagreement, or whatever you want to say, because it wouldn't be anything cordial. I am impressed with Razor Fist's encyclopedic knowledge of like how he can recall specifics. Like I have a pretty broad range of history, and I agree with all of his takes because it's again nothing that I haven't heard before. But he remembers like sources and authors and dates and very specific things about the things that he argues that I could never hope to replicate. Yeah, I got the general gist of it. I got the general argument and the point I understand and can agree with, but like he will hit you overhead with factual specific data points of like, oh yeah, it's this book by this author, this chapter, go check it out. I'm like, how the hell do you retain all of that? I don't understand that.
Yeah. I have that with stupid shit.
Oh, I have that with like cartoon references.
My specialty is character actors. What the fuck am I gonna do with that? Sit down, son. Let me tell you 67 minutes about Dick Miller. Let me regale you with my stories of Buddy Flowers.
Yeah, poet. I've noticed that too. He's like, as I predicted. It's like, well, no, you kind of glanced at that, kind of, tangentially. You kind of hit that, but it's not as you predicted, like you were saying. And it's not like you're fucking Nostradamus there, Sticks.
Maynard.
No, that's poet.
Sticks is sometimes wrong too, but isn't as witty as Fist.
No, 2 down.
I don't have 2 down. I've got liberative, spastic, autodidact.
Then the next one.
God damn it! I'm on top chat. God damn it! I don't know why it switches on me. Hey, welcome to chat, Nephilim. God damn it! 6 hours ago. Top chat like we're famous. What kind of fucking ego I got going on here? This isn't even my channel.
No, it's just that that's what it defaults to. Even on my own channel, I have to select live chat. Like, if there's anybody that needs to be in live chat by default, it would be me.
Hey, oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, harsh but true.
Oh, no, take it.
Speaking of which, I should probably check to see if there's any chat in Rumble. Oh, of course not.
Remind everybody, hey guys, don't forget, government sites are .gov, not .com. Well, that's what I do is because I've been caught a couple times with it, but I didn't have a early access to this one because
I didn't share
reasons,
the link.
whatever, yeah, whatever it was.
I'll own that one for not sharing the link. Whatever.
But the first thing I do, I throw a like because I'm a good person, and 1, 2, 3. There's 4 of you in here, and I'm one of the likes, so somebody's not a good person, clearly.
Did you hit subscribe and ring the bell?
I do actually have it subscribe just so I can like shit on you if you go live without me. Oh, what are we doing? Animations today? But usually I'm like, I guess everything's set up. Yeah, mute's on. Oh, gotta go to live chat. And I didn't because I was rushed today. So that's my day. How's everybody else's day going? How do you guys start the stream? Merker fucker her. So what else we got going on Twitter? We'll get 2 hours if it kills me.
Get so used to being a mod on Matt's channel and Neo's when he had it, and of course this one that.
Well, I can be a fucking mod on Rumble now.
That I don't think you can mod Rumble.
Son of a bitch. What's the point?
Right.
Well, I can't mod Rumble anyways. I don't have.
Well, the app doesn't even do chat.
Oh, here we go. Can you recognize the movie from the name of the bar? The Tropicana. Club Tropicana. Fun and Sunshine. I don't know what that is.
That's Kokomo.
Double Deuce.
Double Deuce? Double Deuce? I have no idea.
Roadhouse.
Not the Blue Oyster.
Roadhouse. Blue Oyster is the Police Academy.
Very good.
Cocktails and Dreams.
No idea.
That's probably for the movie Cocktail. Because the one next to that is Eat at Porky's. So I'm thinking it's not like a trick question here.
No, that's pretty much a giveaway. Gee,
Are you sure about the Club Tropicana?
no, I would thought that would have been Cocktail.
I think it's Birdcage.
Well, okay, so if I say the bar, the Birdcage, what movie is that?
Is the Birdcage the bar?
Uh-huh.
Birdcage.
Technically, it's two movies.
I actually love that movie.
The Birdcage?
Mm-hmm. I love that movie.
I remember not hating it.
Oh, Gene Hackman in that movie.
But no, the bar is the Birdcage. What movie? What's the movie?
Oh, I have no idea. What movie is that?
Tombstone.
The Birdcage?
Uh-huh. The Birdcage Theater.
Wasn't the bar Coyote Ugly?
Yes, in Coyote Ugly, the bar was Coyote Ugly.
Oh. I just recognize the Double Deuce. Speaking of, Jake Gyllenhaal is remaking Roadhouse, so we have that to look forward to next year. Good fucking luck.
Yeah, no shit.
I mean, dude, you kind of made like half an argument for Jake Gyllenhaal as Jack Burton.
It'd be better than The Rock. I mean, I don't want that movie remade at all, but yeah, definitely The Rock does not get to play Jack fucking Burton.
I mean, Swayze would have done good as Jack Burton, but it would have been weird to see his fucking Tai Chi bullshit fighting against Chinamen.
You have a Porky's in a nearby town. We have a ham bone here. It's basically Porky's. It's basically the same pig on the sign from Porky's.
When I moved down here, there was my wife just was constantly talking about the Piggly Wiggly.
The grocery store.
The grocery store, yeah. And like, I moved here in October of 2015, And in August of 2015, they changed owners, and it was like some generic fucking bullshit. It was like called like the Food Store or something. Uh, Food Shop, food. It wasn't Food City because Food City is where I shop now. But it was just some generic fucking name, and I was so disappointed. But like everything inside still said Piggly Wiggly, and I was like, man, can we just call it the old Piggly Wiggly? And I did until it became like a fucking Aco.
Yeah, the supermarket by my grandma's house in Denora, Pennsylvania, was Bar-a-Lotta's, and then they got bought out by Giant Eagle. So now it's a Giant Eagle, but everybody in the area still calls it Bar-a-Lotta's.
Mm-hmm. Isn't there a double dog dare in Arizona?
Probably.
Yeah. Same book that had Morgan as the it was like fighting out like a Hopi reservation or something. But it had the double dog. It's you order for the person across from you, and you guys see how much of the food that was ordered for you actually eat. And I was like, no, I'm not taking a fucking date there. Like, she's chewing on bowl balls. I don't want to put my tongue in her mouth anymore. There was a Jack Reacher book. I don't remember the state it was in. I think it might have been Oklahoma. And the bar was out in the middle of nowhere. It was called the Cell Block. And it was a double entendre because there was no service at the so it wasn't like a housing cell block. It was your wife couldn't call you and demand you come home cell block. I was like, yeah, that's clever-ish. I still think ATF should be a store and not a department, because those are all the fun things. Alcohol, tobacco, cigarettes. They added in explosives. Hell yeah, I'd go to that store. But I wouldn't buy cigarettes the same place I buy my explosives. That's for damn sure. That's a stupid idea. Don't want to mix those two up.
Got Ruff's Guns and Liquor, Flagstaff. At guns, ammo, booze, and porn with a drive-through window.
I traded a gun 2 months ago. Well, last month actually. It was February, and we went and did because it was a police officer. We went and got background check each other, which is really just a safety measure to make sure that the gun's not stolen.
Right.
And it was like 5 minutes. Like we filled out the paperwork. Well, really, it was on a computer thing. And there was a beep and a button clicked, and they're like, "Yep, you're good to go." And I was like, "You didn't even fucking you don't call the ATF anymore?" All right. Why the fuck is my suppressor still 4 months behind schedule? I got that beat. My nephew was born in 1990, and I told the nurse. She called my brother to let him know that his son had been born, and she goes, "Do we have a number for him?" I was like, "Oh, he's at a bar." She goes, "What bar?" I was like, "Charlie's 2," and she just dialed a number. She's She's like, son, I've been working in pediatrics. She said pediatrics and neonatal pediatrics and something else. She goes, for 31 years, I know every bar's phone number.
That's funny and sad at the same time.
My dad wasn't there for my birth. He was at his bar. And he wasn't even alcoholic at the time. Just social. My dad has so many more friends than I do. I have 5 friends. I don't even like 2 of them. One of them's currently asleep, by the way. I had to mute him.
Snoring?
He was snoring while you were talking. But we would go to this bar, or not this bar. It was a Coney Island restaurant. And he would spend the next 2 hours talking to everybody in this goddamn restaurant. And I'm like, I can't get 5 words out of you. You son of a bitch. But you would talk to 300 motherfucking people. I was like, I have 5 friends. None of them are in the state. No, I got 3 friends in the state, but the numbers kind of jive. But my dad knew so many fucking people. No, this was actually in Detroit. But it was his hangout. Like every morning he was there, and he would check out the conversation. And then like one day someone would have like fucking too much beef, and there'd be a barbecue, and then everyone was best friends. And it happened like every other weekend. Somebody got too much of something. Like my wife bought 16 packs of hot dogs because they were a nickel a piece. So
Those were the days. Holy shit.
yeah, like just it'd be like there was something selling something, so everyone come over and eat because I don't want to buy another deep freezer. That's like what it was.
Yeah, I go to a
And
bar where the hunters hang out. That way you can get excess meat.
Mm-hmm.
Come to think of it, I don't have any friends at work that do this anymore, but I used to have a guy at work that would regularly ask people if they wanted to go in on a cow.
Mm-hmm. I had one of my guys is a vegan hunter. He is not happily vegan by any means, but he's a pastor of a church, and he's on a very restrictive diet in which there is no meat in his diet. But he hunts, and like he'll claim a deer, and like he always maxes out his tags, and he'll give the meat to the parishioners and whatnot. And they bought him like a pass to go bear hunting and different kinds of things like that. And one time he's like, "You want to go with me?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah, I do. We're gonna go pig hunting." But they released the pigs. They got in all sorts of trouble for it. I was like, "Man, I was gonna go pig hunt. I was gonna shoot a pig. Like I like ham." And then he explained what ham actually is. And ham is 6 months of bullshit. And I just want to eat a fucking ham. It's like duck. There's a gaminess to it. Yeah, no. Can I give you this ham and you give me a 6-month-old ham? Is there a bartering system for that? There is not, by the way.
I still got a pound of elk meat in my freezer I need to use.
Yeah, I love the small community. Like I talk to my neighbors now. I didn't know my neighbors in Michigan. In fact, one of my neighbors stole my custom shoes that I had designed for my wedding. So here I had a computer that was put on my porch, and one of my neighbors was like, "Yeah, I'm going to take it inside just to make sure no one takes it. And let me know, hey, I have your computer." 2 days later, because our schedules are the exact opposites.
You like horse over venison and beef? Can't say I've ever had horse knowingly, so I couldn't tell you the difference. But
Oh, I did. It was at IKEA. They about a month beforehand, they were unknowingly feeding people horse. They're like, "Oh my god, we're so sorry. Anybody who's eating the Swedish meatballs, that's horse. We're gonna stop." And then there was an outcry because apparently they were delicious. And it was my first time going to IKEA.
I don't think you're weird that you hate pork chops and love bacon. I love bacon, but I do not like ham. Pork chops, I'm completely neutral on. I won't turn them down, but I don't seek them out.
I can cook bacon. I can cook ham. I am not a cooker of pork chops well.
Chops are easier to cook than the loin. Pig loin is not good.
Horse steak. Is it big? Horse steak sounds like it'd be big. What the fuck did John Candy eat in the Great Outdoors? What was that?
The 76er?
Yeah. What was that?
Beef.
Like the ass of a cow? The entire ass of a cow?
Yeah, the back end, the rump. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Somebody showed me an ostrich, or I saw a tweet about an ostrich steak, like last week or something like that. I'm like, I need to try an ostrich steak. That might be pretty good.
There's a channel called George Carker. Hey, he's some sort of foreign guy, like somewhere in the Caucasus anyway. And I've seen him butcher an ostrich. I've seen him butcher a camel. I've seen him butcher an alligator, some fucking foals or something. But I'm like, Jesus Christ, that's a big bird.
Yeah.
Camel was definitely fucking huge. Grilled pork chops. I live in an apartment. Still.
You can put a hibachi out on your deck.
No, there's actually they're against grills here.
No.
What smells bad raw?
Horse.
I hear bantas don't smell too bad. You sleep with them all night.
No, that's the tauntaun.
What's a banta though?
The banta is the big furry horn thing that's on Tatooine. The banta poodoo is what the banta poodoo. But yeah, it's the tauntaun that smells bad on the outside and the inside apparently.
Huh. Explains why we still have horses here. Because we didn't originally. Looking at you, Dances with Wolves.
Well, by the 1800s, they'd been around for 400 years. Well, no, 300. I got Wild Horse right up the road from me.
Arizona, fuck yeah. It's weird where horses can survive. Like -20 and a horse is running around. Like, what the fuck? Your fur isn't that thick. I mean, the horse meatballs were absolutely delicious. So good luck.
We have a specialty butcher down the road a ways that I could probably find quote unquote exotic meats at, like horse, and they carry elk, they carry venison. I think they even carry mutton, which is rare. Pretty sure I could probably have they probably do get horses every now and then.
Yeah, if not, you can just order it for next week.
Yeah. They have buffalo on the regular.
I need to find a butcher shop.
I like buffalo. Buffalo's good.
The Tonka.
Or should I say bison? Bison is good. Never had a water buffalo. Couldn't tell you.
I had reticulated python.
Tastes like chicken.
No, not really, actually. It's tough. Lion's tough. It's all tough.
Don't think I've ever had mountain lion.
Oh no, this was regular. This was regular lion.
Right, but like I would imagine it's probably easier to get mountain lion here than it is to get lion. So
It was a place
I
called
can't imagine
Bucks.
cat tastes good.
It's tough. It was all tough. It's like, oh, exotic means tough. Like none of it was good.
Oh, gator's pretty good.
I've had gator. I had gator bites anyway. It was fried gator in Orlando.
Well, it's not like you can get a steak off of. Well, I guess you probably could get a steak off of gator.
They offered steaks. I don't care for it. They're like they're a bit gamier, like frog's legs. I'm like, I don't like frog's legs. And frog's legs do taste like chicken, but
I did not
like
care for frog legs. They were too gummy.
Fishy chicken, yeah.
The gator I've had cooks up a lot more firm.
But I've heard it's still fishy.
Yeah, it's got a fishy taste to it.
Now, okay, I can imagine like if you ground up like deer sausage or deer ground deer
That's
for
just
yeah for
burgers.
tacos, yeah, burgers. I would imagine a cougar would be similar, not consistency, but it's cut right with the grain. It's gonna be
I mean,
fine.
that's basically how you have to eat rattlesnake. You get little pieces, little chunks of it, and you basically fry up.
I'll try anything once, except for bugs. I'm not gonna do bugs.
Oh, do you eat lobster?
No, I do not like lobster.
Shrimp?
But I eat shrimp. I do eat shrimp.
How about mud bugs?
No,
Oh, mud bugs are good.
I'm not a fan of seafood. I wasn't anyways. I'm more now than I was.
What about a good tuna steak? Those are good.
Yeah, I did tuna fish from a can.
That doesn't count. That's not even a good bit. I mean, that's edible, but I wouldn't consider that good. A good ahi steak is amazing.
Never had it.
You should. It's good.
I don't like beer batter because I've been trying like some Gordon shit
Yeah.
and like the herb breaded and like regular breaded, like original, like crispy, but not beer batter.
So with beer batter, I've learned living out here that a beer batter made with cerveza instead of an American beer is way better.
It's a possibility. I don't like beer battered anything.
Yeah, because it doesn't. Beer batter can get heavy, especially if it's made with like a lager. But if you get a cerveza beer batter, it's light and flaky. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Oh man, Neil got fact checked for that snake.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, apparently it's bullshit.
Then what is that?
Edited, circulated since 2015. Largest snake in this world is less than half as long as 50 feet.
That's still a 25-foot snake.
No, the longest ever recorded is less than 25 feet. Not saying that one's 25
I thought
feet.
there was an anaconda that was at least 30.
That's a fucking movie, bro.
Not the movie.
You should have realized that by the fourth documentary when it had David Hasselhoff in it.
Well, I mean, I obviously heard that it was Frank Welker, but
Well, that was the original, yeah. I don't know if he did 4.
I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did.
He was the snake in 1, that's for sure.
He was a snake in one.
He does some low tier shit too. He's up there with Lance Henriksen. Like, really? Lance was the villain in this? Really? Frank was the voice of a gun? What the fuck? Like, bang. Bang. Oh, that was Peter. Sorry. Bang. Oh, it's 11:16. You can get out of here.
Okay, yeah, because I'm gonna have to get ready to get the kids to bed. Let's transition to that, and then we will unmute Garrick. Let's see if he's still snoring.
I can't. He has to unmute himself.
Oh, you can't unmute?
Yeah, I can mute. I just can't unmute.
That's weird. You should be able to do that.
No, that'd be weird. You like him just talking with his wife or something. I unmute. Like, I muted. I can unmute.
Well, no, like I'm saying, like I get where you shouldn't be able to unmute if he muted himself, but if you do the mute, you should be able to undo the mute that you did.
Yeah. But they don't have that. It just says you cannot unmute someone else.
Okay. All right, well, we're ready to go.
There was I think it was a Joe Rogan story about a bear that had consisted of mostly fish, and they put it in the smoker, and they're like, "Man, you got to clean your smoker out. It stinks of fish." And he's like, "I have never smoked fish in that. I don't smoke fish." And it was the bear. And then of course Joe's a big proponent of bears will fucking kill you. He doesn't give a shit what bear. He's like, that bear will kill you.
Black bear. Well, they all can. That's for certain. They all are capable of it. But yeah, I don't think a black bear, unless it's a mama bear, I think most black bears would rather not tangle with a human.
Oh no, he's got a healthy fear of polar bears, and the stories for it as well.
Should.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You should fear a polar bear. I mean, Coca-Cola ads make them all look all cute and shit, but no.
Oh shit! Not a woman is trending. Let's see what that's about.
Good luck.
Oh no, it's Dylan Mulvaney.
Oh yeah, that's not a woman.
Oh yeah, this is just an attack of transgender people. Not what I thought it would be.
Nope, not given today's news.
Good night, everybody.
All right, good night, everybody. Garrick says good night too. You don't know that.
Garrick said good night about an hour and a half ago.
Well, I believe in good vibrations is what creates a beautiful nation. All you need is the will to do right.